All right, guys, use hashtag Zeke to get your questions on the show. It's what you guys want to talk about. We'll do a normal mailbag Q&A here in a little bit, but let's talk about Zeke. Let's talk about Zeke. Use hashtag Zeke. Get your questions on the show. There are a bunch of super chats that I kind of want to get caught up with as well here, but use hashtag Zeke. That's how we'll get your questions here on the show. Use that hashtag Zeke. Anything you guys want about Zeke? I know everyone's kind of freaking out here, but we'll get to those here. Some super chats as well. First up from Lee Macho. Zeke sits out. Pick a starter and how do they do? If he sits out week 1, I'd probably call Jay Ajayi, who just got cleared medically, by the way. That's who I would call. But with guys on the roster right now, I'm going to pick, in the end, plain and simple, Tony Pollard. And I don't want to disrespect Mike Weber or Darius Jackson. Let's go all in on the speed and try and go that route. So I'd call Ajayi if Zeke actually does sit out for an extended period of time. And if I don't want to sign anybody, I'll probably stick with Tony Pollard instead. So good question there, Lee. But I'm going to go with Pollard / Ajayi for now. Kilgore, who's been great today. Thank you very much, my friend. I think Dak is better than people give him credit for because he is the boys' quarterback. What do you think? I agree. I think that Dak, even from the Cowboys' own fan base, is held to an unfair standard. I feel like at times we expect Dak to have 100% completion percentage or he's trash. But problem is, it's not how the NFL works. 75% is almost 100% in reality. You're going to miss throws. Every single quarterback does it. Does Dak have to get better? Of course he does. But we're talking about a quarterback entering year 4 who's made the playoffs twice and is at minimum a top 20 quarterback. I mean, if your standard is Mahomes, okay, fine. But you typically don't find Patrick Mahomes. That's not how things often work out there in the end. So from the Cowboys' perspective, I think you should feel pretty good about where Dak is in his development, especially since he was only a 4th-round pick. All right, Kilgore again. If Zeke holds out, are you guys going to have to change your profile picture? Good question. I think we have to change it if he's off the team. I believe that is the standard here for Zeke and the Dallas Cowboys. So, and the Cowboys Report. So as long as he's on the team, I think he'll stay, but we will take it under consideration and potentially, change the game plan there and not go with Zeke as the profile pick. Maybe we'll do Leighton Vander Esch. But if we have to change it, we'll put it to a poll. Okay, we'll make a poll and we'll let you guys chime in and decide as to who you want as the next profile picture here of the Dallas Cowboys Report. Kilgore, by the way, thank you a ton for all of your super chats. I really do appreciate that there, man. Really, really was nice of you here. So we'll get to some more questions here as well. But Kilgore, thank you very, very much for all your super chats. We'll try and bring them all up here on the show as we go along here if there were any more that I missed or if I didn't shout out. I appreciate everyone that gives us a super chat here on the Dallas Cowboys Report. We got almost 600 people watching right now on our live show. All right, Al says that Zeke is already in California. That's what he heard. It's possible. I haven't heard that, though. So we'll wait and see. I don't know if Zeke is out there. I hope he's out there, but I think it would make a lot more sense from a practical perspective here to have Zeke take the team charter. The Cowboys thought he was going to be on that team plane. That's a pretty big red flag for me. But Al, I certainly hope that you're right. I hope that that's the case here for the Cowboys, that Zeke already is in California, and I guess we'll know for sure early tomorrow morning. Well, I guess early tomorrow morning Pacific time, but tomorrow morning here for the Cowboys, but I don't think it's looking very good right now. All right, next up from Jeff, he says, if he, meaning Zeke, doesn't want to be a team player, then trade his ass. I'm allowed to swear if you guys do it. That's what the bosses told me. I don't think, I'm not going to go that far. I am open to any and all trade conversations, but here's my biggest point. I want to win right now. I am trying to win a Super Bowl. I don't have very many scenarios where when you are in the middle of a really good window, that if you trade away Zeke, it helps you win right now. I don't see many of those types of scenarios. Now, you can make an argument that trading him away long term might be okay, and I think there is an argument there, but I want to win now. The window is open. So I'm going to say no trade for Zeke. But again, throw them in the comment section. I am open to hearing your ideas and your comments here. Just some more live Q&A again, folks. Use hashtag Zeke. Got another super chat here coming in. Kilgore's headed out. Thank you, man. He says, see you, Tom. Gotta go. Best way to spend my money. Hey, I appreciate it. I know you're gone right now, but thank you very much, Kilgore. We appreciate it. And everyone else out there watching the show, who's commenting, liking, engaging, all of that there. I appreciate it here, folks. So thank you very much for that. Really do love it. All right, next up from Manny Ramon, all you wanting Zeke gone should be the ones gone. Now, I'm also not going to go that far in the other direction. I think it's a reasonable discussion to have here. I don't think you have to go too far in one direction. I am open to hearing all sides of the argument, but I also typically don't like the you're not a true fan if you take it that route there. So I appreciate the comment, Manny, but I'm not going to go that far in the other direction either. All right, guys, reminder, use hashtag Zeke to get your questions on the show here. That is hashtag Zeke. That is how producer Alicia can find them, bring them up on the show for you guys. We got what? Let's see, 600 watching. I appreciate that. I really do. Again, get your comments in there. Use hashtag Zeke to get your questions live on the show. Use hashtag Zeke there, guys. From ADB, will Dak step up if Zeke holds out? I hope so. I hope that's the case here for the Dallas Cowboys. And even if Zeke's on the field, I want Dak to step up just a little bit more. Destroyer Dog, longtime watcher. At least I've seen more of him, I should say. Do you think Zeke will be traded? What do you think? Look, I'm open to the discussion, but I don't think he gets dealt in the end. A couple of reasons. Number one, the Cowboys do like Zeke. Like, they've made that very, very clear. Number one, Zeke helps you right now. Plain and simple. There aren't many backs in the NFL who are better than Zeke. And B, you typically don't see teams that want to pay a lot of money and give up premium players and or draft picks. That's very, very rare, especially at a position that is easier to replace, like halfback. Matt S. wants to know what I would do with Zeke. I would call his bluff. I would say, sure, Zeke, we're going to work towards a deal, but we're not paying you if you're not in camp. And I'd say, you know what? We have that August 6th deadline. I dare him to show up or to hold out and be like, I think he shows up by that deadline because that makes way more sense for Zeke himself. And then I say, okay, let's see how he goes this year. We'll work towards an extension. And then I would reset and take another look here in the offseason. I'm not paying Zeke this year unless he wants to take a below market rate. Because of all the positions out there, it's easier to replace a running back. So I like Zeke. He's important to this team. But I'm also not going to set a bad precedent of hold out and you'll get paid. I don't like that if you're the Dallas Cowboys. Potato Master 123. What is a good team-friendly deal that Zeke would take, and what happens to Zeke's deal if one of the new backs like Pollard absolutely balls out in camp? If Pollard balls out, and by the way, I think you're going to see some good reports coming out about the backs there because the Cowboys are going to use that as a leverage point in the media. A team-friendly deal is less than Todd Gurley. And if he thinks less than Todd Gurley, I'm in. But I don't think Zeke's going to do that. Michael Andrews, if he holds out, do you trade good players or revise other contracts to pay him? Well, you don't have to do either. You can pay Zeke right now if you want. You have 24 in cap space, 24 million in cap space, and a bunch in the future. So you can work out a deal that barely increases Zeke's cap hit for this upcoming season. So it's not about the money. It's about the order of operations. It's about how much do you actually, it's not about the money you have or don't have. It's about the order of operations, and it's about how much do you want to pay for a running back that, as talented as he is, let's not kid ourselves here. He's a distraction. I mean, every single year we do this shit with Zeke over and over again. There's always something, and it gets a little bothersome, you know? Like, for Zeke, it's a bad look. If he doesn't show up tomorrow or Friday morning, it's a really bad look. Robert DiCenzio, do you think Coop or Dak will be upset if Zeke gets paid first? I don't think so. I don't think Dak will, because I think Dak feels very good that he's going to get paid. He's not worried about that. And Cooper is in no rush because he himself actually wants to wait. So I don't think either guy would be upset if Zeke takes some time there. Saul Jamie, could there be an Emmitt Smith scenario for Zeke? And I assume you mean by Emmitt, you mean he's going to hold out for a while and then miss some time in week 1 or week 2 and then get paid. God, I hope not. That is the nuclear scenario for the Cowboys and Zeke. That is the nuclear scenario. I hope that is not the case. Great weigh-in. Shout out producer, whoever did it here. Producer Alicia. She's taking credit. Oh, producer Brett did it. Sorry. All right. See, there you go. Alicia, take the credit even what was not you. Is Zeke a distraction? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I don't know how you can type anything but yes. I mean, how many times we played this game with Zeke? There was the visiting the marijuana store in his first year. There was the whole, is he suspended or is he not suspended deal. There was the pulling down the girl's top at a St. Patrick's Day parade. There was the most recent incident where at Vegas and then the non-suspension there. And now there's a damn holdout. Yeah, he is a huge distraction. Now, I'll make note, he's the best back in the NFL, I think. So at some level, you're willing to deal with it with a distraction as long as he produces. But do you want to throw $15 million per year, the highest paid running back in the NFL, and make him a distraction? I don't know. I think it's a reasonable discussion to have there. And I know a lot of you guys are upset with Zeke, and I get it. It's not great. All right, NFC East Hub. What are your thoughts on Cowboys Report that according to Zekes Stats, Zeke doesn't actually cause defenses to load the box? Great question. One we haven't talked a lot about. There is no doubt that defenses fear Zeke. However, stacked boxes and the percentage that teams face have far less to do with the actual player in the backfield and way more to do with your personnel. I think that makes sense when you think about it, right, guys? If you come out with 3 tight ends, guess what? Stacked box. Even if you throw it, it's a stacked box. But if you take those tight ends off the field and put receivers on the field, the linebackers come off the field and cornerbacks come on and they're not in the box. If you run 11 personnel or 4 wide or split your tight end out wide, it opens up more space in the box. That's why I really want Kellen Moore as play caller to run out of the shotgun and run with open sets. And with split sets and open up the field, use that space. If you put tight ends on the field, all you're doing is loading the box. So yes, Coward, he's got a very, very good point there. All right, Molten Citrus, when do you predict this holdout ends? I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't think he was going to hold out to begin with. I did say there was a chance there. I'm going to go with by August 6th. I think that is your next date to watch here, beyond, of course, Friday morning, if it's actually an official holdout. So that's going to be my focus point here for the Cowboys, that August 6th date. And now we got to keep doing it here in the future. All right, actually, I want to get to that one, Alicia, the one you just previewed, if you can still grab it. I do want to get to that question because I like that one there. But as for the Zeke holdout, I think it ends there. All right, Rushmerk9. You keep saying running back is the easiest to replace. Have I bumped my head? Then did you forget about the DeMarco Murray situation? So did we get him to replace until Zeke? Did you bump your head and forget that the reason the Cowboys offense was bad that year was because Tony Romo was out? Darren McFadden came in and ran for a bunch of yards. So I'm not saying it's easy to replace, but let's not try and revise history and say the Cowboys offense was bad because DeMarco Murray wasn't here. The offense was bad because the Cowboys had no quarterback. And again, look, the Cowboys definitely won a good ground game, and I'm not saying Zeke is easy to replace. I am saying, and this is a damn fact, guys, that running back is easier to replace than any position in the NFL except kicker. That is absolutely the case. And I'm not saying dump Zeke and replace him with a bunch of nobodies. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that running back across the board, easier than quarterback, easier than receiver, easier than offensive line, easier than D-line, easier than linebacker, cornerback, safety. It is the easiest position to replace. Not saying it's easy to replace Zeke, I'm saying that it would be easier to replace a running back because you can find guys. You can have a rotation. Hell, you guys wanted Alfred Morris more. Like, that was a thing I've seen in the comments before. So, like, I'm not saying dump Zeke because it's easy to replace him. I'm saying that the argument is, in general, running backs are easier to replace while acknowledging Zeke is the best in the NFL. And it's tough to find a generational back like Zeke. All right, Lily Bombach, how much will Zeke get paid? Spelled paid wrong. Sorry, I guess I'm kind of big mad right now, guys. Sorry. Probably more than Todd Gurley, so 14.5 to 15. That's probably what Zeke wants. Now, if he takes less than that, awesome. Sign me up right now. But the highest paid backs in the NFL, thank you, producer Alicia, great graphic. Todd Gurley makes 14.4. If you get Zeke for less than that, sign me right now. Like, I will do that in a heartbeat. Of course, structure matters and all that, but if Zeke wants to take less than 14, I'm so in. The problem is, Zeke wants $15 million. The Cowboys have bigger priorities here. And I think Zeke is kind of frustrated by something that I've been frustrated before. The Cowboys drag their feet in contract talks. They don't operate with any urgency. They're just kind of like, deadlines make deals. We'll get it done when it gets done. Oh, Dak Prescott went up. That's okay. We'll still get it done. DeMarcus Lawrence, we cost ourselves $3 million. That's okay. We'll still get it done. So, from that perspective, I get where Zeke is coming from. Now, Matt S. had a good one there, but we'll go to Destroyer Doc here as well. Do you think the Cowboys should see how Zeke does before paying him? Well, no. I think even more so than Dak Prescott, we know what Zeke is. We know Zeke is the best back in the NFL, or at minimum, top 2, top 3, top 4, whatever. So I don't need to see anything from Zeke to know if I need to pay him or not. Now, Matt S. wants to know, who is more of a distraction, Zeke or Ramsey? Good question. Which was a bigger distraction, Emmitt holding out or Deion Sanders a couple of years later? Because that's kind of my comparison here. Like, Jalen's a distraction, but God, that's a good question. I'm going to go with Zeke, though, because Ramsey's at camp. I would have thought it was hilarious if Zeke showed up in a Brinks truck. I would have loved that. I love that type of drama there. But I think Zeke's a little bit more of a distraction right now. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.